back out in the garden this morning and have a little update about yesterday's butternut squash harvest. This here behind me is a rogue plant that came up volunteer in our garden, and I am thinking that it is a spaghetti squash, hoping that it is a spaghetti squash and not a watermelon. We'll see. Here is what is actually on the plant. So there's one there, and then there's another little one up. So the tomato plants back here, these are all my starts. They are still doing really well. They still have lots of green tomatoes on them. Might have made a mistake by planting pole beans behind, because now they're going crazy in the tomatoes, which I guess could block out some of the sun and block the airflow. So probably won't do that next year, but you don't know unless you try. So I'm trying all kinds of new things this year. We'll see how some of these things work. I have these are all new cucumber plants here. And then we have another row here. I bought some new brands and I just wanted to try them out. I knew I could plant them in our zone and get some possibly right before the frost comes. I'm praying so. Got some different ones just to try out. I've got an acorn squash that I planted from seed because I had it. It was old seed, trying it out. Got some watermelon that we planted from old seed that's coming up. I don't know if we'll get harvest off of it. I may have to cover it up and see how it works. But I figure I have this old seed. I don't know if it's viable or not. I'm going to try it out and see how it works. Kind of push the limits a little bit and just try new things out. The beets, I have never planted beets before. I've got two different kinds, a ruby red, and I cannot remember the other one. I do have them marked because I do not remember really well. But these are coming up really well. They have some diatomaceous earth and some insecticidal soap spray on them. Lettuce bed. The lettuce is coming up really well. I have a couple of sweet potatoes in here that are actually from the store, and they sprouted, and I went ahead and planted them, see what they're going to do. But the lettuce is really coming up well. Diatomaceous earth on it again. I noticed some bugs, and I don't have any row covers, so this is going to have to work. Now, the broccoli is along the back, and it's not doing very well. Neither is the cauliflower that's over here and on the other end. But the lettuce is kind of doing pretty good. I've not really planted it like this before, so we'll see. For my naked tomato plants, they are still alive. We're gonna see if they actually bloom and produce very much. But now all my little starts down here, almost all of them died. I knew I had to put them out before vacation, but I do have a couple, and again, diatomaceous earth. This is a curly kale. There's another one right here. There is some cabbage over there. I knew I had to get them out before we went on vacation because I knew that they would just dry up in the greenhouse. It's too hot in there. I have a shade cloth for that, which probably got here too late. I don't think I can start any seeds in there. I don't know. We're going to see. Maybe I can go ahead and start some lettuce for the winter, or, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. My plan is to get a cold frame going for the winter up by the house and plant leafy greens in there and see how that works. Okay, so my poor cucumber plants, these were planted early spring, and while part of them are still producing pretty good, these will probably be pulled out here before long because I do have the new ones up, and I have canned some, I've pickled some, but I really just love putting them in vinegar, water, and with a little bit of sugar and pickling them that way. We always called it thunder and lightning. I know some people put onions and tomatoes in it. I just put strictly cucumbers. Occasionally I will put onion in it, but usually just cucumbers, and I love them. Put them in the refrigerator in a jar. 1 part vinegar, 1 part water, half part sugar. Let it set, mix that up real good, let it set for maybe a day, sometimes not even a day, because I really like it, and I could just eat the whole jar. Okay, so now over here, I did have in this bed, I had Roma tomatoes as well as these pepper plants, and my Romas kind of petered out. They were producing lots of green. I did get some Romas and I did freeze them, but I pulled those, and then these are really doing well now. They really hadn't done much. Now they have lots of blooms, and I saw some peppers. There's a couple there. There's one in here. I sprinkled some diatomaceous earth on these just in case, but they really have quite a few peppers on them. Now, I don't know how I'm just going to continue to let these go. These are just green bell peppers. As you can see, there's still some cucumbers on here. Love trellising cucumbers. It's not doing really well. I'm going to leave these probably until tomorrow because I did harvest a bunch whenever I got back from vacation. Over here is not doing so well. There is some mustard, some red mustard coming up, but nothing else really has sprouted. And I had some cute little Gershon cucumbers I'm going to replant. They did not come up. But then we've got the crazy tomato starts over here. More of my starts, which I'm really excited about that they've done this well. They have just went everywhere, and I have no idea what kind they are. Zucchini plant is kind of doing okay. I've been trimming off some of the leaves around it. I did get a really big zucchini off of it after vacation, and then a smaller one. I've got one there I'll probably pick tomorrow. Sprinkled some more diatomaceous earth on it, and I've got this little bitty orange lunchbox pepper, and then over here we've got a green one, or well, it's actually a red one. It's got lots of green peppers on it right now. But as you can see, the butternut squash is starting to die off. I think the squash bugs got to it a little bit. But there's like 8 plants in here. They have just went crazy. I did harvest some, but like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure I harvested some too early. I was showing that the little tendril, when it dries up, it's time to pick it. Actually, you're supposed to let the stem dry up as well, and then it's ready, and it won't have any green streaks. It will be a nice buttery orangish golden color. And if you push on a little bit with your fingernail, you shouldn't be able to pierce the skin. Some of them inside are a little softer than the others, so I'm just going to kind of let them sit and see how they do. I have a few that do have the stems dried up. Thank goodness that I didn't pick all of them too early. I did pick one today. The stem was dried up. Actually, the whole vine was dried up. So hopefully it's okay and plant just didn't die. There is a pumpkin in here somewhere over here. Not real sure. I saw one of the pumpkins that was forming yesterday, and it had like a blossom end rot, so I'm not sure that it's gonna do real well. Watermelon that we started, we'll see how well it does. The chickens are hanging out underneath their awesome shade covering that I had to do. I do have a shade cloth and for the greenhouse, and I may end up using it for them if I can't use it for the garden yet, or the greenhouse yet. But they get some scraps over there. They love those. They love the little worms that I feed them. But here are the other, so you can see from a different angle, we got lots of cucumbers coming up. That next row, actually nothing came up. I put some starts out of the greenhouse and they kind of petered out as well. So more cucumbers, lots of tomatoes that are starting to turn, and the asparagus has gone crazy. It has taken over. I wish now that I had put it somewhere out of the way. It is literally going to be right there. And I don't know how easy it is to move. So if anybody has any hints about moving asparagus, let me know. Sure, we'll be able to cut it off. So it won't be so crazy. I'll just have to let it grow up later. But my plan is to put some more, I'm going to put another raised bed here and then 2 over here. That is the plan before this fall is over. We have some visitors. So that is the plan before winter, is to get 3 more raised beds in here. The plan was also to put some more raised rows in here. I don't think that's going to happen before winter. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 raised rows. Trying those out. Haven't done those before. I kind of like those. Putting straw or wood chips down in the middle for a walking path. It's worked really well. I hate weeding the garden. It's one of the downfalls for me, is weeding the garden. As you can tell, I have some weeds back here in all the squash, but weeding is what I would not do. So it just kind of would take over after a while. But this year it's much better. I've got the straw and the wood chips down. I use a lot of cardboard in between my raised beds. I put cardboard down, usually weed eat it really far down, put cardboard down. And then if you have straw or wood chips, put it over the top of it. Sometimes I've just left the cardboard and it breaks down. So for me, it's worked really well. Plan here with these is to actually put a compost pile at the end of this coop, take all that down, put the compost there, and have 2 bins so that we can put all the compost in one side, let the chickens get in there, let them scratch it, let them stir it for us. We can work on that one, and when that one is, going good, or we want to use it, we can start and put scraps in the other one. I'm not real sure how it's going to work. We're going to see. I don't know. I'm going to try to do maybe some deep bedding in this chicken run because they are in there all the time. We did let them out, and I may still do that in the fall depending on what is in the garden and if they can get to it or not. If they can't get to it, then I will probably let them out. I don't mind them getting out in the yard, and it's actually cheaper for us to do that anyways, in my opinion, because I don't have to feed them as much grain because they're free range that way. This way they do get an organic grain, they do get food scraps, and they get some tasty tomato worms and stuff out of the garden that maybe I don't want. But whatever is in for the winter or fall will have to be covered because this is the first place that go to. And all right, I was headed in after harvesting, but I think I'm going to show you my zinnias that I have absolutely fallen in love with. I've never planted zinnias before. Probably couldn't even tell you maybe what they look like. I'm not real great on names of flowers, but these are just some seeds that I happen to have. I love them. I'm pretty sure like all that's one plant, those red zinnias. And then got some pink ones, some purple, some more pink ones. I just love these. I am definitely going to plant these. I took some of the dead heads, take them inside, save the seeds. I will probably be saving lots of these seeds. And these marigolds, I did buy the plants for these, but I've been saving the seeds. I love these. I love the smell of them. They smell wonderful. Back here, I'm still not sure what this plant is. I guess I had been mowing it down, or I'm not real sure, in the flower bed or something. And I have two of them. I'm not sure what they are. I don't know if they're phlox or what, but I do have some oregano and some tarragon back here, and I just put some basil seeds there, just pulled some off and sprinkled some in there. Yeah, I've got more marigolds in here. Definitely put the zinnias in the back next time. And then this is one of the sunflowers that I planted. I just thought I'd plant some more. And then all my roses down here that I got from my grandmother's house. It's not looking so hot right now. It's been blooming for a little bit. Walk out here with me, and we'll leave this garden behind, and we'll head out here, the fruit area, as I say, other than this crazy mound going. I used to have a huge blackberry bush right here. We had the wedding last year, and it was overrun, a lot of dead stuff in it, and you couldn't get to the berries very easily, so we just basically mowed it down. And of course, it's hard to get rid of blackberries. These do have thorns, and it's a mess right now. I mean, it's got weeds, just weeds all in it. But the plan is this fall to clean that out, clean all the dead stuff out. Most of it's probably new because it just came up, and cut out what has already had blooms on it, because that'll be dead next year. And kind of clean it up to where we can kind of trellis it maybe. But that one, I guess, is just going to stay there. Out here, I had this great idea to put these blackberries in this raised bed. Yeah, I'm not sure that was a great idea. I do have a part of a cattle panel there. We have our blind rooster back here in his little house. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. I think I'm gonna trim them and put them up through the trellis, but again, they have thorns. So it's not gonna be that easy. So they have gone crazy. The point was to get them out here so I could mow around them very easily. That's not gonna work so well like that. But this bed is one of my favorite out here. These are the strawberries that I planted. I planted 2 plants, that's it. 2 plants. They have put out runners like crazy. They bared fruit for a long time. They're ever-bearing plants, and now they are putting out runners everywhere. So I was taking and cutting the runners off and planting them and gonna move them, but they just weren't living really well. So I'm just kind of been cutting some of these runners off that are like, if they hit a runner and then a runner and a runner, I've been cutting some of them off, but some of these have really grown into really big plants, and then I'll just cut it away from the other one. And I'm thinking maybe this whole thing will probably fill up with strawberries from just the 2 plants. You could definitely start your strawberry bed with not very many plants and let it put out runners and fill it up really fast. But we do have blueberry bushes out here that I don't think I've ever gotten blueberries off of. Got to figure that one out. Sure, it has to do with our soil, but I have 4 blueberry bushes. I've had these for years, especially these 2 right here. and they probably need to be trimmed. I need to do some more research on blueberries, but we've got an apricot tree. I'm not sure what that little one is right there. We had another one behind, and we had one here and some over there, but the goats got out and I don't know, a year or two ago and destroyed some of them. So I think this is a tangerine tree and then a peach tree in the back. These need some definite pruning this year. This was an apple tree that is going to have to be cut off really low. My plan is to get a nice tree guild going out here. Cannot wait to show you all the seeds that I ordered for this fall and next year, and just ideas on the tree guild. Some plants to plant out there for pollination, for pest control, and just for the aesthetics, period. I've got lots of different things I've never heard of, and just things that you can plant underneath the tree, around the tree. I'm going to have a path out there in my plan. I've got it kind of drawn up in my head. I'm going to put it on paper before long. I will definitely share that because I am really excited about doing that. Definitely not this year. Probably start working on it next year as I can figure out what plants to put. I like plants that come back up. I love perennials, so most of the flowers that I have planted around the house are perennials. I have lots of hostas. Love black-eyed Susans. I love them because they spread. So do hostas. They spread and they get huge, and you have to divide them off. But I've got some ferns from my grandmother's and stuff that doesn't really require me to do a whole lot with. Those are my kind of plants. This is a little bit later in the day, and I showed you the garden and had some ideas of different things that I was going to do. I'm going to show you some stuff that I got in the mail before we left on vacation and after we got back. Lots of seeds. I have gotten so many seeds. Some for next year, some new things that I want to try, and so I thought I would share them with you. I've got some piles going on because I have some that I want to go ahead and start and see if I can get those in before the fall winter, and then I've got some that are for next year, and then some flowers and stuff. So, all right, this is my little seed box that our youngest son made me out of a piece of pallet, and I think I'm gonna have to have him make me a couple of more. This has all vegetable seeds, more vegetable seeds, and I have some flower seeds, so I do want one for flowers. These are some of the new flowers I got, and I'm not really even sure how to pronounce some of these. I got some of these for the tree guild that I want to do. All white swede alyssum, and these are all from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. You can get on there and order, and they ship out really, really fast. Amaranth, this is another one. I'm pretty sure these two are for the tree guild. I got some more sunflowers. I love sunflowers, and some of these were so pretty. A Mexican sunflower and then a evening sun sunflower. So I will be planting those for sure. Some of those will probably go out there. Some of these take 80 to 90 days to bloom, and they're not frost hardy, so I'm probably not going to put these out. I have some other ones planted that I do have, and they're out there in the garden. I showed you those earlier. Now, some of these are just me saving. These are zinnia seeds that I pulled off of the flowers. These are the toothache plant that I have, the Spilanthes. I have 2 bags of these. One is for a friend. I have some yarrow. I saved some orange lunchbox peppers, some black-eyed Susans, some marigolds, some corbels, some echinacea that I have, and I usually just put them out on a plate, let them dry out, and then break some of them up. Some of these, the heads are still in here, and actually I have some more echinacea that I need to pull off the plant. Plan is I got some new seeds, like I said, and got some from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, and I also got some from Botanical Interest. I actually love these. I love the look of these seed packets. And it tells me, I love when they tell me if it's frost sensitive and how many days to maturity. So these are a Minnesota midget melon, a cantaloupe melon. Take 60 to 70 days. I don't know if I can pull these off or not. I have got to look. I've got some cilantro that I may try. Some 55-day okra, never grown okra. And actually I don't really even buy it, but I want to try some new things. I've got some rutabagas. Now, these are frost tolerant and they take 80 to 120 days. A root crop, so I'm thinking maybe I can get those in. These are frost sensitive. Got some more early straight neck wash. My other ones did not do so well, so I'm hoping these are going to do better because I'm going to put these where they actually get some sun in them. So these are 45 days, so I should be able to do those. And then I did get some more Black Beauty squash. I'm still getting a little bit of squash. I may plant 1 or 2 more of these and see if I can get more squash through the fall. So we'll see about that. I have some more amaranth. I'm pretty sure this one doesn't take as long, but I'm pretty sure this was also for the Tree Guild, so I don't know that I will start that. More lettuce. I've got lettuce going. Ground cherries. This is something new that I saw. 65 days, so I don't know. It's gonna be really close. I'll probably plant 1 or 2 of these, not very many. And I do have some more okra. I think this one is a little bit longer, so I don't know if it will happen. Some calendula. I think I can get this in. It's frost hardy, so I'm gonna try it a little bit. This one was so cool. I saw this on there. It's strawberry spinach. It has like these little berries that grow on the stem. It's frost hardy, so we'll see about that one. I have kale and cabbage that I'm gonna plant again, some carrots, some more mustard greens, and more kale. This barrage is one that I'm pretty sure was out in the Tree Guild. So I'm probably, after I'm going through these again, I'm probably not going to do that one yet. Now, I mentioned that I had some cucumbers, some new varieties of cucumbers, and I actually have one I have to replant because it didn't germinate. But I have some munchers, I have some early fortunes that I have planted, some lemon cucumbers. These were adorable. And then this is the one that I need to replant, the Mexican sour gherkin. We thought these were so cool because they look like little watermelons and they are tiny. I have a Boston pickling cucumber that I planted. So those are already planted. Those are coming up really good except for the gherkin, which I have to replant. Now these are some new ones that I got. The Tamarillo, the dwarf Tamarillo, we'll see about that. Sugar Rush red pepper. I think these are sweet with a little bit of spicy heat. So I haven't really done a whole lot of peppers. Frost hardy, so these are gonna be next year's. I got an orange pepper. I got some sweet chocolate peppers. Tomatillo, purple Coban. We'll see how those do next year. I've got some mango, some melon, some mango or vine peach. These are small. They're going to be about the size of a peach and be white on the inside. So I don't know. I guess you can cook them. You can pickle them. They're just cute little melons. Trying some new melons. Lilac bell. This one is a habanada. This is a kind of like a habanero, but without the heat. And then we got your jalapeno pepper. These are what they sound like, jalapeno. So these are basically jalapenos without the heat of the jalapenos. So I'm really loving the garden this year. I've not got quite the harvest that I thought I would, which is okay. But these are all the seeds I have so far. I'm going to be saving seeds from what I have, especially the butternut squash, because they've done so well. The plan is to have 3 more raised beds out in the garden. Where all the butternut squash is, it's not going to be able to be there. So probably going to have to go with the other garden that we didn't plant anything in this year and plant all of it out.